I need to ask you something, and I want you to be completely honest with me. When someone speaks to you in English, right now, at your current level, what happens inside your head?
Is it like smooth, like the English just flows in, makes sense, flows back out, no problem? Or is it more like, what did they say? Let me translate that.
Wait, they're still talking. Oh no, I missed something. Should I ask them to repeat? No, that's embarrassing. Maybe I'll just nod.
Yeah, that exhausting, chaotic, slightly panicked internal translation marathon that happens every single time someone speaks to you in English. Don't worry. You are not broken. You are not bad at English. You are just doing something that nobody ever told you to stop doing. You are translating. And today, we are going to fix that. Not with grammar exercises, not with vocabulary lists, not with anything that feels like studying. We're going to fix it by understanding why it happens and then doing something about it. So get comfortable, make yourself a drink if you haven't already, because this, right here, might be the most useful thing you hear about English this year. Let's go. Right, so here's the thing. Your brain translates because it's clever. I know that sounds backwards. Bear with me. When you first started learning English, whenever that was, your brain did the most sensible thing it could possibly do. It said, okay, new language. I don't know this yet, but I do know my own language, so let me just use that as a bridge. And that was actually a great strategy for a beginner. Your brain took something unknown, English, and connected it to something known, your language, and that bridge helped you survive those early days. How do I say thank you in English? Oh, it's thank you. Great, I'll remember that. Bridge, translation, works perfectly. But here's the problem. That bridge was supposed to be temporary, like training wheels. You use them when you're learning to ride a bike. They help. They're great. But at some point, you have to take them off. And most people never take them off. They keep translating year after year. Even as their English gets better and better and better, the habit stays. They hear English, they convert it to their language, they understand it. They form a thought in their language, they convert that to English, they speak. That is 4 steps when it should be 2. No wonder you feel exhausted after an English conversation. No wonder there's that horrible 2-second delay before your answer. No wonder sometimes you open your mouth and nothing comes out because the pipeline got jammed somewhere between step 2 and step 3. You're not slow. Your process is slow, and we can change the process. But first, I want to tell you about the moment I realized something was different. Because there is a moment, and when it happens, you'll know it. For a lot of people, and I mean a lot, there's this one specific moment when something shifts. And it's always when they least expect it. Someone I know told me their moment happened in a supermarket. Not exactly poetic, right? Not, I was watching the sunset over the ocean and suddenly, in a moment of pure beauty, I thought in English. No, she was trying to find the pasta aisle. And she realized she'd been walking around that supermarket for 10 minutes, completely lost in her own thoughts about what she needed to buy, about what she was going to cook, about whether she'd turn the oven off. And all of it had been in English. She hadn't noticed. That's the thing. She hadn't decided to think in English. She hadn't made a conscious effort. She wasn't doing an exercise. She was just thinking in English. And the moment she noticed, she stopped in the middle of the pasta aisle, probably blocking someone's trolley, and she just felt this wave of something. Not excitement exactly, more like recognition, like meeting a part of yourself you didn't know existed. That moment is coming for you, and everything we do today is designed to make it arrive sooner. Okay, 3 reasons. 3 real, honest reasons why your brain is still translating, even though you're well past the beginner stage. Reason number 1. You learned English through your own language. Think about how most people learn English. The teacher explains grammar in your language. The textbook gives you a word and next to it the translation. You do exercises, you read an English sentence and write the meaning in your language. The whole system is built on translation, so of course your brain translates. You were literally trained to do it. This is not your fault. This is the system's fault. But now you know, so now we can do something different. Reason number 2, you don't trust yourself yet. And I say this with total kindness because it's something almost every language learner goes through. There's this voice, you know the one that says, "Are you sure that's right? Check it. Translate it first. Make sure before you speak." That voice is trying to protect you from embarrassment, from making a mistake, from sounding silly. But here's the irony. That voice, that cautious, well-meaning, translation-demanding voice, is the single biggest thing standing between you and fluency. Because fluency requires trust that the words will come, trust that imperfect English spoken quickly is 1,000 times more powerful than perfect English spoken never. And trust, like every other muscle we've talked about, is built by using it. Reason number 3, you haven't practiced the right thing. I know, you've been practicing. You've been watching videos like this one. You've been listening, reading, studying. But here's the difference. There's a gap, a significant gap between understanding English and producing English. You can understand 100 new words this week and still not be able to use a single one of them in a real conversation next Monday. Because understanding is passive, thinking in English is active, and you can only train an active skill actively, which is exactly what we're going to do right now. 6 habits, 6 things you can start doing today, not next week, not when you feel ready, today. None of them require a textbook. None of them require a teacher. All of them require only one thing, your brain, which you already have. Let's go. Habit 1. Name your world. Starting from today, when you look at things around you, name them in English. Not out loud if that feels weird. In your head is fine. You wake up in the morning. You look at your ceiling. Ceiling. You look at the window. Window. Curtains. Sunlight. Dust. Oh, I should really clean that. You walk to the bathroom. Mirror. Toothbrush. Toothpaste. The toothpaste that's almost finished and I keep forgetting to buy more. Do you see what's happening there? You started with single words, and within seconds you were forming thoughts, real thoughts, in English. That's not an accident. That's how it works. You plant a word, and your brain grows a sentence around it. So start small. Name 5 things in the room you're in right now. Doesn't matter what they are, just name them. Go. Good. That was your first minute of thinking in English today, and it cost you nothing. Habit 2. Run a commentary. Okay, this one sounds slightly strange, but stay with me. When you're doing something ordinary, making food, commuting, getting dressed, walking somewhere, talk about it in English, in your head, like a commentary. Okay, so I'm making pasta. I'm going to boil the water first. Do I have enough salt? I feel like I always run out of salt. Where did I put the... There it is. Okay, salt in. Now I wait. And I know what you're thinking. That sounds absolutely ridiculous. And you know what? You're right. It kind of does. But here's the thing. Nobody can hear you. It's inside your head. You can sound as ridiculous as you like in there. And what you're actually doing while you sound ridiculous is building automaticity. That's the technical word for when something happens without effort, without thinking. Every time you narrate your life in English, even badly, even with gaps, even when you have to substitute a word you don't know with a description of what you mean, you are laying a track in your brain. And the more you use that track, the smoother it gets. Try it this evening. Whatever you're doing after this, narrate it, even for 5 minutes. I promise, by day 3, it'll feel completely normal. Habit 3. Think in questions. Here's something interesting about the way our brains work. Questions are incredibly powerful for thinking because a question demands an answer. It keeps the brain active. It keeps the thought going. So instead of just narrating, ask yourself questions in English. What am I going to do today? What's the weather like? What did that email mean? Why does that always happen? What would I do if... These little questions create English thinking loops. One question leads to an answer. The answer leads to another question. And before you know it, you've been thinking in English for 10 minutes about your commute and your lunch and whether you should message that person back. Which is, by the way, exactly what fluent speakers are doing inside their heads all day long, just without noticing it. Habit 4. Feel the emotion first. Okay, this one is my favorite, and it's the one most people never try. When something happens, something that makes you feel something, anger, excitement, relief, surprise, love, frustration, name that feeling in English before you name it in your own language. Your coffee is perfect this morning. Before you even consciously think it, this is perfect. Let English be the first language that thought arrives in. Your train is delayed, again. Seriously, again? Come on. Someone says something kind to you and it catches you completely off guard. That actually meant a lot. Emotions are the fastest route to natural language because when you feel something, really feel it, you don't have time to translate. The language just arrives. And the more you practice letting English be the language emotions arrive in, the more English becomes the language you live in, not the language you use, the language you live in. There's a difference, and it's enormous. Habit 5. Stop looking up every word. Okay, I'm about to say something that might feel slightly uncomfortable. Stop translating words you don't know. I know. It feels wrong. It feels like if I don't understand this word, I'm missing something. And you are, momentarily. But here's what you gain. When you push through, when you keep listening, keep reading, keep going without stopping to look something up, your brain does something remarkable. It tries to guess. It looks at the words around the unknown word. It looks at the tone, the context, the rhythm, and it makes a prediction. And often, more often than you'd expect, it gets it right, or close enough. And when your brain guesses correctly, or learns from guessing incorrectly, that knowledge sticks in a way that looking something up never does. Because you worked for it. You wrestled with it. You sat with the uncertainty. You trusted yourself. And your brain remembered. So next time you're listening or reading in English and you hit a word you don't know, try staying with it, just for a moment. See what your brain does when you stop rescuing it. You might be surprised. Habit 6. Talk to yourself. No, I'm serious. I know exactly what face you just made, and I understand. But hear me out. The most successful language learners in the world, the ones who get to fluency faster than everyone else, they all have one thing in common. They talk to themselves in the language they're learning, in the shower, in the car, on a walk, before they sleep. Not full conversations, not rehearsed speeches, just thoughts, out loud, in English. I'm tired today. That meeting took too long. I'm going to make tea. I wonder if it's going to rain. 40 seconds, out loud, in English. That's 30 seconds more than most people do in an entire day. Because here's the thing about speaking out loud versus thinking silently. When you speak out loud, your ears hear it, your mouth produces it, your brain processes it. 3 channels at once. That is triple the learning in the same amount of time. So yes, talk to yourself. In English. Starting today. Your housemates might look at you strangely, your family might have questions. Tell them you're becoming fluent, and then offer to explain in English. In the next section, we're going to talk about what it actually feels like to make progress, because it's not linear, and it's not easy, but it's worth it, I promise. I want to be real with you for a second, because I think you deserve honesty more than you deserve motivation. Thinking in English is not going to happen overnight. I wish I could tell you, do these 6 things for a week and boom, you're thinking in English all day, every day, no effort, no translation, pure fluency. But that's not how it works, and you already know that, because if it worked like that, you'd already be fluent. Here's what's actually going to happen. At first, it's going to feel clunky, slow, slightly ridiculous. You're going to narrate making your coffee and run out of words halfway through and have to use a word from your own language as a placeholder. And that's fine. You're going to ask yourself a question in English, and the answer is going to arrive in your own language first. And that's fine. Because what you're doing, even when it feels clunky, is interrupting the habit. Every single time English shows up where your own language used to be, even for half a second, that's a new pathway forming in your brain. Tiny, barely there at first, but every repetition makes it wider. Every day makes it deeper. Every week makes it faster. Until one day, without warning, probably in a supermarket, you realize you've been thinking in English for the past 10 minutes and you didn't even notice it. That's the moment, and I promise you, it's coming. Keep going. So here's where we are. You now know why you translate, you know what it costs you, you have 6 habits you can start today, and you know that the moment is on its way. All that's left is to actually do it. Not perfectly, not all 6 habits on day 1, just 1. Pick the one that resonated with you most. Maybe it's naming your world. Maybe it's running a commentary. Maybe it's talking to yourself. And yes, I know that one scared you a little. Pick one. Start today. Not tomorrow, today. And then come back here and tell me, which habit did you choose? Leave it in the comments because I genuinely want to know. And if you're feeling brave, leave a sentence in English about your day, about how you feel, about anything. Because that sentence, that one comment, is you thinking in English. And that means it's already working. Take care of yourself. See you in the next one. And remember, your brain isn't slow, it's just been waiting for permission to let go. Today, you gave it that permission.